I hope you enjoyed these sessions.
Yeah, you've helped me massively. Every time I was out of the studio, talk to my husband, like, I'm so excited. I've learned so many things.
That's good. I'm happy for you. I'm happy.
Yeah.
So now it's hands-on and practice, and to go through all these things and start to experiment.
Well, I was thinking. Well, definitely. I think I want to do a session with you every week.
Amazing.
Yeah, and maybe we could do, maybe we could alternate, in person, and then. But I mean, I think this worked pretty well, to be honest. Apart you, I think we kind of got over some of those Zoom gremlins pretty quick, and this seemed to be completely an efficient way of doing it. So
yeah, I agree. Actually,
you've set it up right. So let me have a little look what you've done. Whoa, you've got tons of effects on, haven't you?
Yeah.
You got the cabinet on. So I see. So the threshold, let's bring that up here. If you bring that up to the top.
Okay. So that was actually kind of where it was originally. Actually.
And then was it play it again. Sorry. And then just bring it down a little bit, I think. Yeah, touch more. No, I think you had it right. It's just, I'm not too sure why it's in the red. Yeah. One thing you do need to change, which I haven't gone over these controls because they get a little bit complicated, but the attack time is how quickly the compressor reacts.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, it's reacting too slowly because effectively you want it to get in and out. So you want it to be like jink. When the kick hits, you want the volume to duck and then come right back to where it was. So you need, with side chain compression, you want this as short as you can, basically the attack.
So that means turn it to the left.
Exactly, yeah.
So if I just play it. Oh. Yeah, now I can hear the kick coming in actually.
And then what you can do is if you scroll up to your kick and then hold down Command and press S to solo that, you should be able to actually hear them together, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. So you should be able to hear that ducking now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. And you can obviously, so this is a taste thing. You can change that. You can automate this. So a lot of people automate it on like their breakdowns. They do the side chain compression more, so it feels like the track is sucking in. A lot of people use this technique where they don't have the kick in, but it's still triggering it, if that makes sense. So it feels like the energy of the kick is there, but it's not there for breakdowns. And then you can ease off the threshold. So effectively the threshold is the more you bring this bar down, it's basically bringing the volume down more on the pads every time the kick hits, right?
Cool.
That's what it's doing. It's making it duck more. But that sounds like you've got your head around it. Maybe you could try it. I think you've got some really fast like hi-hats, is that right, in this track?
Yeah, these
are they like going like that type of thing, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Well, that rhythm will always sound great with side chain compression. So try exactly. And what you can do if you don't want to mess around with all the parameters again, you can just go to that other side chain you had on the pads and hit Command and C and copy the plugin, and then Command and V will paste it with the same settings. Or you can just drag another compressor on. Either is fine. Yeah.
Cool. That
makes sense?
Yeah, I will do. Thanks.
Cool. you play me the rumble at this track soloed with the rumble, please?
So just solo the track or
Yeah, is it
solo
on
the kick?
Yeah, is this what we're looking at? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's just on the kick. So, and I've literally just stuck this on it. So,
if you could play it and then turn the yellow button on and off, so I could hear what it's actually doing. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So that's it with it on.
Cool.
And then.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh right. So I see. It's on the kick. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Whoa! It's got this side chain button already, hasn't it?
Yeah, so maybe I don't need, I don't know. I just got it and it sounded kind of interesting. So I just put it on.
No, this is good. I'm glad you've mentioned it. So what I do with things like this, sometimes you're in a position where, so essentially to me, that one track is doing two things and you've come into a position where you can't actually affect it the way you want. So what I would do, it's going to get a little bit techie probably and a bit weird, but we'll duplicate your kick completely.
Yeah, okay.
And then one of them is going to have the rumble and one of them's not. And the one which has the rumble, we're going to get an auto filter on it and get rid of all the highs, so we just hear the rumble, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
So let's do that whilst I've got you on screen.
Yeah, sure.
So you can click on the kick track and just press Command and D.
Oh, okay, so just click on that.
Yeah, and then Command and D will duplicate everything. And then on one of them, it doesn't really matter which one, just delete the rumble.
So I'll just do it on the top one, I guess.
And then let's rename this one then Rumble so we can see it.
So I'm renaming the one with rumble.
Yes, the one. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, the one below it.
Oh, what am I doing? Just putting rename there.
And then this will take a bit of I'll sort of show you roughly what to do, and I'm going to get you to do this to taste. So what you're going to do is on both these tracks is put an auto filter.
Okay.
So on the kick and the rumble, yeah, exactly. And then let's do it on the other one as well. And then what you're going to do, let's start with the rumble because it's there. So you're going to bring the frequency, the filter cutoff down probably to about 100. So this, sorry, where's my mouse thing gone? This thing here. Or yeah, you can drag it as well. Exactly. Either way, it's doing the same thing. And just bring that down to say, let's actually solo the rumble and let's listen to it as we do it. So let's go back up to the top and then we'll listen to it. And I want you to just find the point where you feel like, cool.
I mean, this sounds pretty good here, but that's a bit too.
No, that's cool.
About there.
Okay. Then sort of roughly, we're going to do the opposite on the kick. Okay. So you're going to go to your kick. And then what you need to do, so that is what we called a low pass filter, which was letting through the lows. We want a high pass filter, which is this one, and it'll sort of do the opposite. And what I say when you do this is you generally want like an overlapping area. So you'll bring that down to somewhere around here. And then so your kick now isn't really going to have as much low end as it did before, but the rumble is going to supply all that space. So let's have a listen to the kick on its own. And okay, yeah, it's like really wacky now, isn't it? And then let's bring in the rumble. Okay, cool. Those volumes sound okay. I would say now what you're going to do is sidechain the rumble to the kick.
Right, okay.
And I think you possibly can be a bit drastic here because it will have this like, the sort of genre that you're playing with, I think it will work. That's it, yeah. Spot on.
Cool. Okay.
Oh, sorry. you've got, I see what's, this is quite a bit more complicated. This is, you're side chaining the filter to work on the kick. We want to set up, so just unclick side chain here.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
All right, pass me by that. And then let's add a compressor on the rumble track.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
No, that's all good. I actually am trying to work out what that would do. I think it will only trigger the EQ when the kick hits. That's what that'll do. It's the same function. It's, yeah,
okay.
It'll sound quite cool probably, but it's not what you want.
No. So I'm side chaining this.
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
Oh no. Is it the kick? Yeah.
There you're exactly right. Yeah, and then just scroll a touch right so we can see. And then basically you're going to play them both and bring down. Oh shit! Sorry, my bad. No, sorry. This is right. Yeah, sorry. Then play them both and just bring down this bar to taste. So that's the kick that you can see, the waveform of it. So bring the bar down. So it's not doing anything until it reaches that point exactly. So that yellow bar that you see on the top is basically the volume ducking.
Okay.
Let's bring it down a touch more. And then if you want to like just check how much, you can click this screen here. That's it. If you click that little, and it'll change the view of the compressor. So that's ducking quite hard, but that's cool. That's cool. I think
I'm hearing a little bit like crackling and stuff. I don't know if that's
okay. Let's just
hear. Not at the moment, but it's very occasionally. It's like anyway.
Okay, so if you're hearing the cracking sound, it's the compressor is basically breaking. Okay, so which is cool itself. So what you have to do then is it's basically working too hard.
Right.
And the release times are basically, so if you imagine it, it's constantly being triggered by the kick and then it's constantly being untriggered by the kick. What you have to do is make the release and the attack so it doesn't have that clicking sound. It's almost like you'll control the feel with the attack and the release. So the attack is saying how quickly it compresses or side chain.
It just did it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there'll be a sweet spot with it basically that you'll just have to work out.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think so.
Yeah. Also, just whilst I have you, Laura, I was listening to your track. You have this really nice idea which you bring in around here, 81.
Yes.
It's like your second melody and then you use it in the drop down here, right? I think when you bring it in here, you should, I'm not saying do this, but try. So what you've done is you have this first idea of the nice underwater synths, then you have a breakdown, and then you have the underwater synths and the new idea together. I actually think you bring in try bringing in the second one and then them both in together, perhaps here.
Okay.
So it's like idea A, idea B, and then you add the breakdown, which I think was still idea B, and then you merge them here. Maybe not as blatant as that, but what you do is you use the mix to make it feel like that. At the moment, I just heard those underwater synths like sort of over the top of the whole track.
Yeah.
So it could be that you do a more subtle version of what I said and actually just bring the volume down of idea A here and maybe you fade it back in.
Yeah.
So it feels more like a conversation, like you've got a theme, another theme, and then they sort of intricately, like they overlap and sort of meander through each other. I think that'll work a little bit better, and you could use reverb and space maybe rather than volume to push the ideas back. So like that first idea, you could try one of two things. You could try just lowering the volume over here the second time it comes in, or using a reverb and making the reverb bigger or wetter. So bigger being you change the decay time, which means the space is bigger, or you can manipulate the dry wet, which means it sounds like there's less of the dry signal and it sounds further back.
Okay.
And I think that will just help with the mix, focus like what the listeners are meant to be listening to. Okay?
Yep.
Cool.
Sorry.
No, it's good.
Do you want to share?
Okay.
Yeah, please share. Do you know why? Like, I like doing this because listening only to the work, especially how do you feel when you are listening and showing your track to some other people? It's a totally different thing, isn't it? It's rather than you making all the mistakes and not caring, all of a sudden you care. Is it sounding good? Is it good? You see other people's faces and it's kind of cringy, and it works much better this way. It makes you realize straight away. In my opinion, what happens is all of a sudden you're listening from the other person's perspective rather than just from you, who is normally just in the studio on your own, shamelessly making mistakes and not caring about it. All of a sudden you have to impress someone. So there you go. Cool. So what do we have? Okay, so that is drum rack, right?
I think so. It was some kind of drum. Oh yeah, this circle chief kit.
Cool. So this is drum rack instead of impulse, basically.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. At first I didn't know what to do, and I saw lots of extra options, but then I just typed in all of this stuff.
Cool. That's great. Okay, so the main difference to start with between drum rack and impulse is this little bit here. As you see that arrow there at the top, you probably already saw that, guys, but if you just press on it, it just expands, and those are all the sounds. Just press play for a sec. See, like every single sound that is coming from the MIDI clip, you've got them separately there. It gives you like an extra versatility when it comes to later on work on the track, doing the mixing, applying effects. That is something that you're going to start doing from the next class, really. The next class is more about starting to apply effects more properly, getting to know the effects, that kind of thing. But yes, that is kind of cool because at least from now, whatever comes through, you have like an independent fader, first of all, to start with, and also a panning.
Your track reminds me of this one by Leon Vinehall, if you know that DJ. Yours is doing all this amazing rhythmic stuff, and it's quite like left field house music, but it's not. I'm not feeling the grounding, and it's the kick. I think I'm still listening. Is this the same? Wait there. Sorry. I'm listening to the same one as last week.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, maybe I can have a listen to yours and maybe towards the end. But I want you to listen to that track that I've sent, the Leon Vinehall one, and just listen to how like the percussion is quite strange, and it's got like the weird vocal chops like yours, but it's grounded in all the time by the kick. Unless you don't want to be using a kick like that, I basically can't. I don't feel rooted to something in your track. I feel like that's what it's it's like missing that one element. And I think if you put a kick in, it will really help like bring everything together.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Because now listening to the other tunes, I think that's the body I was maybe thinking about. It's like, yeah. Also thinking like the bass, something happened with the bass. I don't know if it was already like that on the tunes they uploaded, but I don't know what happened. It was like playing out as well while I was trying the mixing part today.
Okay. From what I can hear on your bass, I know this is the week before last, when it comes in, it's a lot like it's the loudest bit of the whole track, just for those 2 bits, and then it all drops back down again. So I think that's just like, you know, going through and like balancing your levels basically, and just bringing stuff down or up, you know, bringing those quieter elements up, and like almost putting that hat on as like a mix engineer.
Yeah, sounds good. Definitely. We'll let that play.
Cool.